Bored of Bali? I've got just the place. Alright, let's talk about vacations. It seems like every year, Americans get this collective amnesia and decide the only places worth visiting are the ones they've already seen a million times on Instagram. You know the ones. There's the "I found myself in Bali" trip, which usually just means you found yourself in a yoga class with 20 other people from California. Then there's the romantic getaway to Paris, where the most romantic thing you do is stand in a 2-hour line to see a painting that's smaller than your iPad. And let's not forget the classic all-inclusive Cancun resort, where your biggest cultural immersion is deciding between the watered-down margarita and the slightly less watered-down pina colada. It's a beautiful, predictable, and utterly unoriginal cycle. We scroll through the same photos of the same sunsets over the same infinity pools, posted by people wearing the same floppy hats. "Living my best life," they caption it, while strategically cropping out the crowd of 100 other people trying to get the exact same shot. It's like we've all agreed that adventure has a checklist, and the goal is to tick off the most popular boxes. You haven't really traveled until you've taken a forced perspective photo holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? It's less about discovery and more about confirming that yes, these famous places do in fact exist. And they look exactly like they do on the postcard you could have just bought online. When travel bloggers describe a place as untouched, they usually mean there are only 2 5-star hotels instead of 20. It's a place where you might have to walk 5 whole minutes from your resort to find a local market that sells authentic souvenirs, probably made in a factory 1,000 miles away. In the Central African Republic, or CAR, untouched means something entirely different. It means the rainforest has been doing its thing, uninterrupted for millennia. It means the rivers flow without a single tourist-laden riverboat. This isn't just off the grid. This is a place that makes the grid look like speculative fiction. The CAR is home to a massive chunk of the Congo Basin. The air here is thick with the smell of damp earth and blooming flowers you can't even name. The sounds are a symphony of insects, birds, unseen creatures that Hollywood sound designers spend millions trying to replicate. It's so pristine you almost feel guilty for breathing the air. Compare this to the Grand Canyon, majestic, yes, but crowded. Thousands of people jostling for the perfect selfie at the guardrail. In the rainforest of the CAR, the only thing blocking your view might be a curious gorilla. There are no designated photo ops. The whole country is a photo op, but you have to work for it. And there's no one around to accidentally photobomb you, unless you count a particularly bold butterfly. This is the kind of wild that changes your perspective. Not manicured, not theme park nature, raw, real, gloriously indifferent to your travel plans. Visiting the CAR is like a backstage pass to planet Earth before it became a hit show. And trust me, it's way better than the version with commercial breaks. If the pandemic taught us anything, it's that we have a newfound appreciation for personal space. We all became experts in social distancing, measuring out 6 feet like our lives depended on it. Well, if you want to take that skill to the professional level, I present to you the Dzanga Sangha Special Reserve. This place was practicing social distancing before it was cool. In fact, it's so spacious you could give every single person from New York City their own acre, and still have room left over for a few herds of forest elephants to wander around without bumping into anyone. It's the ultimate escape from humanity. This reserve in the southwestern corner of the country is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. It's home to one of the most incredible wildlife spectacles on the planet, the Dzangabai. Dozens, sometimes hundreds of them gather here to socialize, drink mineral-rich water, and I assume gossip about the other animals. You watch from a wooden platform, hidden from view, feeling like a spy on a top-secret mission. It's like watching a nature documentary, but in 4D, with the smells, sounds, and the occasional ground-shaking trumpet blast included. Forget SeaWorld. This isn't about watching trained animals perform tricks for a fish. This is about observing majestic creatures in their natural habitat, living their lives completely unbothered by human interference. You'll see baby elephants clumsily trying to figure out how their trunks work, and giant old tuskers asserting their dominance. You might also spot lowland gorillas, bongo antelopes, and flocks of African gray parrots that turn the sky gray when they take flight. And the best part? There are no lines. There are no crowds. It's just you, a guide, and the profound, humbling silence of the forest, punctuated by the sounds of the wild. Suddenly, that stressful work email you were worried about seems laughably insignificant compared to the ancient drama of the jungle unfolding before your very eyes. This is the real world. and it's been here long before our world of deadlines and notifications ever existed. Let's be honest. For a lot of Americans, adventurous eating on vacation means trying the spicy salsa instead of the mild one. We've become so accustomed to our curated, predictable food scenes that anything outside the norm is met with suspicion. We want authentic, but only if it comes with a 5-star Yelp review and looks good on Instagram. Well, the culinary scene in the Central African Republic is here to challenge your palate and, frankly, your entire concept of what a meal can be. You won't find a single avocado toast on the menu, and that's a promise. The staple food here is gozo, a thick paste made from cassava, which is a root vegetable that's a powerhouse of carbs. It's served with pretty much everything. Think of it as the foundation of the meal, like bread or rice, but with a unique, slightly chewy texture. It's usually paired with a variety of stews or sauces, which can be made from greens, peanuts, smoked fish. And when I say smoked, I mean smoked. The flavor is intense, deep, and nothing like the subtly smoked salmon you get at a Sunday brunch. One of the most unique culinary experiences you might encounter involves caterpillars. To a Western palate, it sounds like a challenge from an episode of Fear Factor. But here, it's a nutritious, protein-rich part of the diet, and if you can get past the initial mental block, you'll find they have a surprisingly nutty flavor. It's the ultimate test of the when in Rome philosophy. Are you a true traveler, or are you just going to ask if they have any chicken nuggets? This isn't about fine dining with tiny portions on oversized plates. This is about hearty communal eating. Food is meant to be shared, eaten with your hands, and enjoyed with lively conversation. You might be invited to share a meal, and it won't be served on delicate china. It will be served with a generosity and warmth that you won't find in the most exclusive Michelin-starred restaurants. So, be brave. Try the kanda ti naima, that's meatballs with squash seeds. Sample the grilled fish from the Ubangi River. And yes, maybe even try a caterpillar. Your taste buds might be confused at first, but your travel stories will be legendary. Every city has a soundtrack. New York has its sirens. New York has the rumble of the subway. Paris has the romantic accordion music you hear in movies, though in reality, it's probably just car horns. The soundtrack of Bangui, the capital of the Central African Republic, is something else entirely. It's a complex, layered composition of vibrant, intoxicating music that seems to pour out from every corner, every market, and every small open-air bar. This isn't a city with a playlist you can find on Spotify. It's a city with a living, breathing rhythm that you have to experience firsthand. The music here is a fusion of traditional African rhythms, Congolese rumba, soukous. The result is an infectious, guitar-driven sound physically impossible to listen to while standing still. Your shoulders start moving, your head starts nodding, and before you know it, you're trying to replicate dance moves you've never seen before. The musicians are incredibly talented, playing complex melodies on worn-out guitars, skill that would make rock gods weep. It's music born not in a sterile recording studio, but in the heat and energy of everyday life. Walk through the PK5 Market, one of the city's main commercial hubs, and you'll be enveloped in this sound. You might see a group of men gathered around, one playing a thumb piano or sanza, its gentle metallic notes weaving through the louder sounds of the market. You'll hear the call and response of singers. This is music as a form of communication, a way of life, not just background noise for your commute. Forget going to a massive, impersonal concert where the artist is a tiny speck on a distant stage. In Bangui, the music is up close and personal. You can feel the beat of the drum in your chest. The performers aren't separated from the audience. They are part of the community, playing for their friends and neighbors. It's a powerful reminder that music, in its purest form, is about connection. And in the Central African Republic, that connection is something you can feel in every single beat. Let's be real for a second. A big part of why people travel is for the story. We want to come back with experiences that make our friends and coworkers lean in and say, "Wow, you did what?" Central African Republic, the ultimate trump card. When your friend starts talking about their daring trip to Costa Rica, you can just sit back, smile, and wait for your moment. "So where did you go?" they ask, expecting a cruise or a trip to see Mickey Mouse. You take a slow sip of water, pause for dramatic effect, and say, "Oh, I was in the Central African Republic." Spent some time tracking lowland gorillas in the Dzanga Sangha Reserve. The silence that follows will be more satisfying than any 5-star review. The questions will come flooding in. Is that safe? Was there Wi-Fi? Did you see any, lions? Lions are more of a savannah thing. Let them have their moment. Not just good food, not just beautiful beaches. navigating bumpy dirt roads, communicating with hand gestures, a sky so full of stars it looked like someone spilled glitter across the universe. These aren't the polished, pre-packaged anecdotes everyone else has. These are stories with grit, with character, with a genuine sense of adventure, trip that elevates you from tourist to explorer. You value authentic experiences over comfortable conveniences, the ultimate badge of honor for travel lovers. You'll have a stamp that makes immigration officers do a double take. Isn't that the reaction we're all secretly hoping for? You went where? Yes, I did. Let's address the elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about the ones in Zanga Sanga. For the average American traveler, the idea of visiting the Central African Republic can be intimidating. Our news cycle tends to focus on the negative, painting entire continents with a single, broad, and often scary brush. We're conditioned to fear what we don't know, and let's face it, most people don't know much about the car. The fear of the unknown, combined with a very real fear of being disconnected from our digital lives, is a powerful deterrent. But adventure begins where the comfort zone ends, right? The first fear to conquer is the digital detox. In many parts of the car, reliable Wi-Fi is about as common as a unicorn. At first, this feels like a crisis. You'll instinctively reach for your phone to check emails, scroll through social media, or look up a random fact. You'll feel a phantom vibration in your pocket. This is your brain going through withdrawal. But then, something amazing happens. After a day or two, you stop reaching. You start looking up at the world around you, instead of down at a screen. You have actual, uninterrupted conversations with people. It's terrifying and then it's liberating. Then there's the fear of the unfamiliar. The food is different. The customs are different. The language, primarily Sango and French, is different. You can't just rely on Google Maps to get you around or Yelp to tell you where to eat. You have to be resourceful. You have to be patient. You have to be willing to be a little bit lost and a little bit confused. This is where the real growth happens. You learn to trust strangers, to communicate with a smile and a gesture, and to embrace the fact that you don't have all the answers. It's a humbling experience that builds a confidence that no guided tour ever could. Ultimately, a trip to the car forces you to confront your own preconceived notions and anxieties. It challenges the bubble of safety and predictability that we build around ourselves. Yes, it's important to be smart, to be aware of the political situation, and to travel with reputable guides. Prudence is not the same as fear, but allowing fear to stop you from experiencing one of the world's most unique and raw places would be a tragedy. Conquering those fears doesn't just give you a good story, it gives you a new perspective on the world and on yourself, and you'll realize you're a lot more capable than you thought. In an age where handcrafted often means designed on a computer and assembled in a factory, the concept of true artisan craftsmanship can feel like a lost art. We buy things from online stores like Etsy, hoping for a touch of that authentic human-made quality. But in the Central African Republic, craftsmanship isn't a trendy hobby. It's a fundamental part of the culture, a tradition passed down through generations. The artistry you'll find here, in the bustling markets and quiet villages, makes most mass-produced artisan goods look like cheap imitations. Take, for instance, the intricate woodwork. They create everything from functional objects like stools, bowls, to ceremonial masks and statues, all from local woods. Each piece tells a story, its patterns and shapes imbued with cultural significance. This isn't just decoration, it's a visual language. Buying a carved wooden elephant here isn't like buying a souvenir from a gift shop. You're acquiring a piece of art that has been shaped by hands that have been taught by their fathers, who were taught by their fathers before them. Then there's the incredible skill of the blacksmiths. In many communities, the blacksmith holds a position of great importance, a master of fire and metal. Using simple traditional forges, they transform scrap metal into essential tools, knives, hoe blades, and spearheads. Watching them work is mesmerizing. It's a powerful, rhythmic dance of hammer and anvil, a process that feels ancient and elemental. The finished products are not polished and perfect, but they are strong, durable, and uniquely beautiful in their handmade imperfection. And you can't talk about artistry without mentioning the music and the instruments themselves. Many musicians build their own instruments. This is the opposite of a disposable consumer culture. Here, objects are created with purpose, care, and a deep connection to the materials and the traditions they represent. Forget your online shopping cart. The real treasures are found here, covered in a light dusting of red earth, waiting to be discovered. So, after all this, the big question remains, should you, a comfortable Wi-Fi loving American, actually pack your bags and go to the Central African Republic? If you're looking for a vacation where your biggest challenge is choosing between The poolside bar, the swim-up bar? Then the answer is a resounding, unequivocal no. Please, for the love of all that is holy, stick to the Caribbean. The car will chew you up and spit you out, and there won't even be a concierge to help you book a new flight home. This place is not for the faint of heart. But if you're the kind of person who is genuinely bored with the predictable, if the thought of another all-inclusive buffet makes you want to cry, if you believe that travel should be transformative, not just relaxing, then maybe, just maybe, you're the right kind of crazy for this trip. If your idea of a 5-star experience is sleeping under 5 billion stars, with no light pollution to spoil the view, then you might be onto something. If you want a story that will make you the undisputed champion of every dinner party for the rest of your life, then start looking up flights. This is not a vacation, this is an expedition. It's for the person who has scrolled to the end of their Instagram feed and thought, there has to be more than this. The Central African Republic is the more. It's difficult, it's challenging, it's complicated, and it is absolutely, breathtakingly beautiful. It will strip away your pretensions and leave you with a profound sense of awe for the resilience of nature and humanity. It's the ultimate antidote to the curated, filtered, and predictable world we live in. It's the real deal. So, here is my final tongue-in-cheek recommendation. Book the ticket. Be smart, be prepared, and hire a good local guide. It will be the hardest, most uncomfortable, and most inconvenient trip you've ever taken. And you'll come back a different person, with a new appreciation for what the word adventure truly means. The Central African Republic is the next big thing for travelers who are tired of the same old thing. Just don't tell too many people about it. Let's keep it our little, chaotic, magnificent secret.